What up, world? It's your boy again, the Afro-Rican Orlando Crespo, giving you the rice and beans on today's topics. What's happening?
What's happening there? Did you miss me?
Yeah, the
It's
world
your
miss
boy.
you.
It's your boy, College Park Sean, back here to put a little paint where it ain't. A little seasoning with some reason there. We got a special guest.
Yes.
A beautiful special guest. And she trying to fight for that extra microphone over there.
I see
It's
that.
already mine.
Oh, okay. Well, go on and tell the people who you is.
I am Franda Panda. That's it. That's all I got.
That's fine. I love the aggressiveness. Hey, a friend of hers is a friend of mine.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
How y'all doing?
Oh, yeah, man. First off, we need to give a moment of silence to Kobe Bryant. We just got the bad news of him passing in a helicopter crash, and
That's heavy.
one of the greatest players I've ever seen, one of the greatest players of this generation. So let's just give him a moment of silence.
Yeah.
All right.
No doubt.
Rest in peace. I guess we're gonna keep it moving. We don't want to get too heavy up here super early. So anyway, let's talk about some stuff that's just been going on recently. And I am one of the people that like to just kind of scroll up and down through Facebook. And the main thing I've been seeing this week is this Tyler Perry movie.
Oh, man.
What's the name of it?
Falling from Grace.
You saw it?
Yeah, I was forced to watch it.
Forced.
You was forced to watch it.
That's what, marriage is about, compromise.
Yeah.
Compromising.
Compromise.
I can't, I can't get those 2 hours back
Oh, wow.
ever in life.
Ever. Right.
Just my opinion. I said ashtray, bitch. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Nah, well, I don't know what you're talking about, but
So since you were forced to watch it, what was your opinion on the movie?
He
or
needs his entire ass whooped for putting this out here. Okay, I know there's some Tyler Perry supporters out there and stuff like that, but just because you got a little paper, don't take a back burner. You can't just put out trash. This is my opinion, though.
Yeah.
Only my opinion. Some people love the movie,
Yeah.
but
and that's what I wanted, because it was a lot of people that loved it, and then there was a lot of people that hated it, and I saw all the memes. I saw the video cuts where the hairstyles was changing in the same scene. The wigs were changing in the same scene,
right.
and all of that. So I was just like, dang. So for me, it kind of bored. What got me upset about it was that so many people that support Tyler Perry,
sure,
they want to fight for this dude, and I get it because he does so much in the community. But his job is to entertain.
Sure.
So if you put out some trash, understand that you put out the trash, and so when you get the criticism, I don't need the peanut gallery to you just hate him because you hate him. No, if it's bad, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
And going back to let's first cover the wigs. You live in Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
You live in Atlanta,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. Wigs everywhere.
You live in Atlanta.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there. So
You
he
know-
was. So really, you were saying he was just being real, because there's some real bad wigs out here. So really, he just wanted to give y'all what y'all really look like out
He
here
said
in these
keep
streets.
it real. You want us to make a real movie? We're going to keep
We
it
gonna
real.
keep it real all the way, because y'all be looking a hot mess in these wigs out here.
Fred, you wrong for that.
That's what you saying. If that wasn't what you tried to say, that's what you saying now.
I swear that's not what I was saying. I'm just saying
Please.
there's such a diversity as far as hairstylists and selections that you can go to
Yeah.
in the Atlanta area alone. Like, why would you pick the low budget, worst looking?
Because you only had 5 days to make this movie. So if I need to go to Sue Chan up here on Campbellton Road and get my wig with a little bit of Gorilla Glue on it, and apply it, that's what I'm going to do. Time is
obviously-
everything. Time is everything.
That's obviously what he did. I have not personally watched the movie, so I can't comment on the aesthetics, the storyline, any of that. But I've seen it on my timeline and you know people's comments as well, and so that's been a big thing that they've commented on. It's like the characters were not realistic. They played into stereotypes of black men and black women. And they did not give a good perception of our real lives and our real stories.
Okay.
And I'm speaking from a place where I've watched several Tyler Perry movies, so not just specific to this Tyler Perry movie.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So, you know, like to broaden the spectrum and not just pick on this one specific movie, it's like, where are we going with this? Like, every black woman is not, I guess, depressed. Excuse me. Depressed because she's not in a relationship.
Right.
Yeah, he's good at kind of recycling the same storylines, and like I said, I don't really watch Tyler Perry, so it's those same storylines, and like you said, I've been forced to watch a few of them here and there, but it was never something that I felt like, oh, I got to hurry up and go see a Tyler Perry movie because all of the storylines are so much the same. So I just from afar let him do what he does. Sure. I don't have to watch the movies or whatever. But if I see something and it's bad, I'm gonna point it out. I don't care who it is. You know, so
white or black.
Yeah, white. Great point, because that's oh well, white folks. And why we always gotta try to measure ourselves as white folks? You know what I'm saying? Let's just say it's good and bad. It ain't no color. It's good and bad. And if you put out some bad work, be ready for folks to talk about it. And, I mean, like we was talking about earlier, like my favorite artist is Nas. Right. But he put out some garbage. And I was the first one to say, oh, this is terrible. It's terrible. So, but that's still my boy, and, you know, he bounced back.
Right.
But, you know, if it's bad, say it. Just because you like this person, it doesn't say that you can't talk bad about them when they put something out bad that you don't like. Right. But in that same breath, the stuff that I hated he did, it was people out there that liked it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Shout out to that boy for Queensbridge.
Oh, yeah. For sure. By the way, man, our boy 18th ain't get to show up today.
Where'd that dude at?
Oh, man, he stayed busy. Stay busy. But we going to hold it down.
I think there was a sighting last night.
Little fighting last night.
Yeah. Shout out, bro.
Yes,
we'll see you in due time.
Yeah,
get some rest.
We're going to get it. Yeah, man. So that's really with that, man. I think we take supporting our people to a whole nother level to where they want us not to even criticize, our folks. And just constructive criticism is what's needed. That's how you grow.
That's right.
You grow from that. So if you don't get to hear the negatives and this and that, then how do you know what you did wrong?
Yeah.
And so, but I look at stuff, I try to look at the bigger picture. So I was saying that, it was a Netflix movie. Netflix, as everybody know right now, they blowing up with the big time
cashing
actors.
Big checks.
Oh yeah, so they kicking that money out because they got big time actors doing their movies. They Netflix movies.
Oh yeah.
So I looked at it and I was like, well, this is a Netflix movie that Tyler Perry did. Yeah. So I'm wondering how much did they give him to do this movie that he just kind of went in and said, we're going to do it in 5 days. I'm going to use the cheapest wigs. I'm going to,
Right.
So what do you do with all that money? If he just did bottom grade work.
Oh, man.
So I look at all of that stuff and I don't know, maybe his check wasn't that big or whatever. And on top of that, this is your first thing out of your new studio.
Right.
Your historically first black studio. Shout out to him for that. But if you got that, utilize it.
I'm telling you, baby, you home.
And I'm just wondering now, this question just popped in my mind, like, why did it have to be filmed in 5 days? Like, what was the pressure?
That's a great question.
To do that in 5 days.
I have no idea.
Did he ever do an interview about that?
I don't know.
And why it was produced in 5 days?
I don't know. I haven't heard him say anything about it. And I know they were shooting Coming to America 2 and Bad Boys 3. They
Yeah.
shot some stuff there.
Yeah.
So there's some good stuff
Right.
coming out of the studio.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, what happened with this? And again, I haven't seen this, so I don't know much about the cinematography, but I've seen the memes with the wigs and you know.
Oh man, internet is undefeated.
Undefeated.
Never lost.
Undefeated. Another movie I want to kind of talk about too,
Yeah.
that kind of falls on that same thing, to where this movie, it's funny because I had so many people that know that I love movies, and they was like, Sean, you gotta go see this. You gotta go see it. I have two type of moviegoers that I talk about. I have avid moviegoers that they go watch any and everything. They usually like any and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I have people that are movie critics, and they only go and see certain movies. On both sides, I had people that loved it and hated it, from the avid moviegoers and the movie critics. And so all of them was like, Sean, you got to go see it. The movie I'm talking about is Queen and Slim. So
Queen and Slim. Okay.
yeah. So I went and saw it, and I'm not going to really talk about the movie, but it goes along the same lines that we was talking about with the Tyler Perry thing, was that the movie itself didn't touch me because it was too unrealistic. It was too unrealistic, but this is a movie about us, black people, and love and all this. And it just, the scenarios just did not resonate with me because they were so thrown together just to move the movie along.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't relate to it in the sense of even if it was a fantasy, it was just the scenarios were just too unbelievable. So I was lost in that. But the cinematography was beautiful. The way she shot the movie was beautiful.
Now, who directed this movie?
What is her name?
I haven't seen it. So.
One of the producers is Lena Waithe.
Lena Waithe.
And
Yes.
her significant other, I can't remember her name.
Okay.
But yeah, they're the executive producers on the project.
Okay.
And so, Sean, you and I have had a conversation kind of like via Facebook about the movie and like my perspective on it, where I saw a lot of people love the movie and they were really, into the storyline. And for me, I wasn't on board with it. And for the same reason that you're speaking, like, it needs to be a relatable and realistic scenario.
Right.
It cannot just be some stuff that you've fictionally thrown together and you want to make me believe that this is the reason why these people are on the run for their like. You're a lawyer, so Queen's character is.
Oh, she's an attorney.
Yeah, she's an attorney.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know the law and you know what the dimensions are within the law. Why are you running?
Wow.
And her more so convincing Slim to run, an aspect of that is kind of like, to me, that threw me off. Like her whole thing was like, we'll never win in a court of law. We'll always be convicted. Which is, a good point, but I didn't see that as a means to propel the storyline to them taking it to the
Especially
dimension.
at the pace that it did.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it was like she was automatically, I'm a thug, so let's run.
Right.
But you're an attorney.
Right. And she was really pushing him, because he was the one that was more.
Okay, go ahead, check.
Right.
Do whatever. And she's like, no, what are you telling him to get out the car for?
Right.
I'm out there to cop, and he was just like, man, go ahead, do what you got to do,
Right.
so we can move along. So
She was also pushing them to run and for them to be kind of like fugitives in this whole scenario. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're an attorney and you know the law, you know that this isn't going to work out well for you. It's going to look bad on your behalf if you're running from the law versus facing whatever it is you need to face in this scenario.
Right.
True, it may not turn out in your favor, but at the same time, you running from the situation isn't going to turn in your favor either. So, like you were saying, like it's an unrealistic scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you said you didn't see it.
No,
Yes,
I
and that's
can't elaborate too much.
Yeah, I didn't want to really go into details, but she hit the nail on the head. Like I said, me and her had discussed it before, and she was one of the main people. Sean, you gotta watch this movie. I want to hear what you got to say on this movie, like because I like to look at the bigger picture. I like I like to be entertained. And see, my thing is when I go to movies, I if I'm going to see a Marvel movie, I know what I'm going. I know I'm going to see fantasy. I know I'm going to see some crazy stuff that, and I'm a comic book guy, so I see this stuff and I know what to expect. Right. But if I'm going to something that people are telling me, oh, it's a beautiful love story and it's about us, my mind is set to be on realism.
That's right.
For it to connect with me. And
relate to it, yeah.
Yeah, and that movie it fell flat on that for me. And that's... Wow. I know 18 gonna have a lot to say on that when he come up.
That's him calling right now. Check my phone.
He gonna have a lot to say on that when he get up here. I can't wait for it too, cause he loved it. He loved the movie. Right.
Really?
Yeah, he loved it. He loved it, and we gonna have that talk.
I'd like to hear what his perspective is and what he felt was really good about the movie and that he loved. I would really like to hear.
Yeah, and he is a critic movie seer. Yeah. Like he and I see movies that I would never thought he would like. One of the movies me and him talked about that we was like, yo, you saw that for real? Man, I don't be telling people I saw that, but that movie was that Bohemian Rhapsody movie.
Really?
Yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Go see that movie.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Oh my!
He won an Oscar for that, didn't he?
Yeah, man, movie about Queen, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah,
please go see that movie. That is a great movie. I like Queen too, so. I guess we ain't supposed to be listening to rock.
No, I like Queen too, so let's not get it twisted.
We're talking about a Prince fan.
Right.
Not liking rock music.
She more than a Prince fan. She like a Prince.
I'm like a fanatic.
Yeah, a fanatic.
Oh, man. You hear that, Nicole? Nicole.
Prince fanatic.
I told y'all.
I think she went up to Nicole.
I've gotten ass whoopings about Prince.
Whoa. Damn.
Is that right?
Is that right?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I told y'all before we started. My dad was trying to convince me to renounce Prince, and I was like, "Nah, player, I ain't gonna be able to do that."
And he was what? And your father was
a reverend, a preacher, a pastor. Yeah,
yes.
Wow. Yeah. So Prince and his raunchiness and. Grinding on the stage, and Darling Nikki and all of that. He was really like, why does my daughter like this music?
Oh, man.
It's demonic. Yeah, and they were doing the backmasking and, all of that. And so, we were in church and they would do it in school and they would do it where they show you, the different songs and what they actually mean and the underlying messages. And when they play backmasking is when they play the song backwards and there's a lyric or a message behind the song. So I remember one of them was
is that a real thing though?
Yeah, it's a real thing. They actually sat us in chapel. This is when I was going to Old National Christian Academy, which is where Creflo Dollar's church is currently.
Okay.
So there was a school over there.
Okay.
Right.
It was basically trailers, but it was a school. And so they actually sat us down in chapel, and they did this whole series on backmasking. So they would play songs. One of them was White Pony, where it's do you want to ride on this white pony? They were saying that they were talking about cocaine.
Okay.
Which, I get it that they probably were talking about cocaine, but then they played it backwards, and there's supposed to be some message or some subliminal thing that they're saying about the song itself that in that context is supposed to be demonic.
Wow.
Where the demon is speaking, and so you get the message as you're listening to the song in your spirit. However, that message, you don't hear it in the actual song or the lyrics.
Because it's backmasked. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what they call it, backmasking. Yeah.
Backmasking.
I didn't know that.
Let me write that
I used to hear about that, but
really?
I didn't know it was a real thing.
Yeah, they even did it at our church. We used to go to Fellowship of Faith International. So they did a series on that as well with the backmasking and the lyrics of the songs and stuff that you listen to. And so, in Darling Nikki, there's a part where he, at the end, is supposed to be playing the song in reverse. And so it says something, whatever it says at the end. And so I'm sure that's part of what propelled my dad to say, you cannot listen to Prince. You cannot listen to these lyrics. You cannot listen to...
And that propelled you to say, I'm never going back to that church again.
I didn't have a choice about going to church. I had to show up regardless.
Yeah.
I'm convinced now that the freaks are the church girls. Can I get one? Splash. Oh.
Yes, we are.
Up top.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm talking about. What
Right
church
up
you
in
go
there.
to? No, I'm just kidding. We stopped.
Ah, that's
We
funny.
I told you what church I went to at the time. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
A lot of people went to that church, though, as a matter of fact, like CeeLo.
Freak.
Dwight Howard's parents went there at the time that we were going there. So there are a lot of people that kind of like came from that church.
They say he crazy too.
Yeah. So
I'm going to
much
sip
for
this
him.
Jack. And
You gonna sip on that, Jay? Yeah, we should have bought the bottle. Yeah, you was right. But anyway, talking about freaks. Let's talk about. Nah, I ain't gonna do it like that. But seriously though, let's talk about women dating multiple men at the same time.
Oh man.
Let's talk about that. I'm gonna let Franda start this one off because I got a lot to say about it, a whole lot. So I'm gonna let
Speak on
Franda go on that.
I don't
Man.
know why
How
you're
you feel
giving me the
about it?
stage on this.
How you feel about that, man?
So, you and I have had private conversations about it kind of off and on about dating in general.
Right.
And so, my perspective, and I know it may differ from other people's perspectives, so I want to put that out there as like a disclaimer that dating is an environment where you get to meet different people and figure out what you do want and what you don't want and what you like and what you dislike.
Right. Okay.
As women, I think we take it to another level, and the context that we put it in is if we meet this person, they automatically have to be a priority in our lives, and they are, quote unquote, the one.
Right.
And I subscribed to that methodology, that thought, process for a long time. Just recently, I would say within the last year or two, maybe I have kind of like been deprogrammed from that because I'm realizing that does not work, and that's not the real life of dating. Men have a very concrete understanding of what dating is. Women, for us, it is not so concrete. We don't really talk about what dating should look like.
Right.
You say, I'm dating this guy, and you limit it to that one guy, and you put all of your hopes and thoughts and dreams and aspirations and future babies and marriage and all of this pressure into this one specific person when you don't even know if you're going to like that person or if you're going to end up with that person.
Right.
So dating is seeing different people, multiple people. It doesn't equate to having sex with all of those people.
Right.
But trying to figure out, and like you said, Sean, by process of elimination, they'll either eliminate themselves or you'll eliminate them into maybe a relationship which branches off from dating.
Right.
So my perspective, and that I've grown and it has changed, dramatically over the several years that I've dated, is that see different people and figure out what you truly want in a person before you click with one person and settle down with that one person and almost want to make them be everything that you've envisioned for your relationship to be.
All right. Yeah, that's
awesome.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the women put a lot of pressure on the guys, and
Yeah.
they scare them away too.
Yeah.
And
I've had that conversation with several, different friends of mine. Like, there's no pressure here. If you're dating other women, I'm okay with that because I'm dating other men at the moment. So don't feel like this is an environment where you're trapped, where you have to be what I think you should be.
Okay.
And so there's a freedom in that. And because if that person really wants you in their space, they will make space for you.
Yeah,
Right.
they prioritize. Yeah.
They'll prioritize you, exactly. But then you have the right to say, well, I get to prioritize you as well. Maybe I don't want you.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Right. How you feel on that? What's your thoughts on that?
About women dating multiple men at the same time.
yeah.
Oh man, I think from a freedom aspect, I think it's okay. Don't put them all in the same. I don't think the women should put them all in the same category.
Right.
I guess it's what you're feeling at the same time. I wouldn't consider you to be a whore, a freak, or nothing like that.
Right.
You just weighing your options.
'Cause she's
It's
not
pretty
sleeping
much
with every-
no.
you
It's,
know,
it's
you're not
to me,
sleeping
it's
with
pretty
everybody.
much an interview process.
Yeah. There you go.
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah. That's pretty much what I was saying. And well, Franda was saying, and you know, to piggyback everything she's saying, and I guess from a male's perspective, when I do have these conversations, a lot of women look at me crazy, and it's like, I don't want you to. I mean, Franda hit the nail on the head when she was like, you have all these expectations on this one person, and this is just it's not even a preliminary phase. This is just us getting to know each other.
Right.
So at that same time, if I got another date tomorrow, go ahead and do that date. Go ahead and do that other date on Thursday or whatever. You can have 4 or 5 days lined up in the week. Now for you, that's you got to keep a backlog of, okay, Terry like this type of stuff, and then you know Rico, he wears size 13 with big hands. And
don't get your men mixed up, ladies. Don't get your men mixed up.
So you know you have to keep a little Rolodex on it. But either way, I say just go ahead, because like you were saying, when you don't limit yourself, the guys that's really trying to see what you're about, and if they know they are on the clock, they gonna step it up. Like if I feel like, okay, she waiting on me to do something, and like you saying, we pretty much do that on the regular anyway.
Right.
So if I know somebody is sitting there waiting on me, okay, let me put her on the back burner. Let me see what's up with Sheikah over here, or you know.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But the women they say, okay, I like him, so I'm finna sit here and I'm finna wait and see what's going on. No, go back out there and wait. And then tell him, like, yeah, I got another date tomorrow, because then that's going to tell him, look, dude, you ain't got no solid spot here.
Right.
You don't have a solid spot here. Right. So you need to, if you're trying to see what's up, you need to step it up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's up to her to decide whether she's going to take those advances or not. So don't sit and wait. And even to take it I want to take that a step further. I was reading the book. I meant to look at that book. I forgot about it. But they always say, the book said, don't ever let anybody feel like you'll always be there.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good information.
You have to keep people on their toes, because people will get so content and they will fall back. I need you to understand that the same thing that got you here has got to be the same thing to keep me here.
Yes,
right.
yes.
So don't get so comfortable to where you just like, oh, I got them, so I ain't got to do this.
Complacent.
Complacent. Right. Yeah. So they say always don't let nobody feel like anything is just solid all the way. Right. You know, at any point in time you get lax, stuff can change real quick.
Right.
So.
And that's a good point. And that goes back to the dating aspect of it. You've given this one person so much power and control in your life right off the bat. What do they have to work for at this point?
Right. Yeah.
They don't have any other thing to achieve or try to get your attention, or, you know, and not even like competition.
Right.
I won't even put it on that, but it's just like, it was so easy for me to get this person. I don't have to do any work for it. Like, I don't know if I want this. Yeah. And like you were saying, Sean, so you go back out and you continue dating while this woman is sitting at home. When is he going to call me?
Right.
When are we going out on our next
that's
date?
miserable.
Right.
That's crazy.
He hasn't called me yet. So then you start from the woman's aspect, blowing up his phone.
And and then I'd be like, dang, what you, let me be. I get at you when I'm ready to get at you.
What's your approach? I mean, how do you tell someone that being too clingy?
Well, now everybody.
Or overbearing. I mean,
everybody do it.
Especially if she's a nice young lady. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, if it's nowadays, I don't care how nice you are. If you're overbearing, I like my space. I'm used to being by myself, so it's easy for me to be like, "Hey, man, I'm just chilling." Yeah. Right. But why we can't do this? Well, I need some time to myself. And to be honest, you doing too much. Right. You pushing real hard. So let's just be cool. Let's keep it cool and let it go organically.
Yeah.
And you don't tip either when we go out. Oh, topic, baby, another topic. If I'm taking you out,
oh my goodness,
boy,
yes.
I ain't gonna hit. Yeah, hit me. Shit, you need tip. You heard me, ladies. Tip if that man is paying for your dates.
Or at least offer.
Take the initiative.
Offer.
But that's a
good point.
I'm not gonna get off of that.
Yeah,
that's
maybe a
time. No, that's good. That's great.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think women need to hear that. Like, at least offer. Look, we all out here. We all got our bills to pay. We all got this and that. So in the dating, of course, a man should be paying. You know, if he's looking after you, and that's another subject. If you ask me out, I'm gonna need you to be ready to pull that purse out.
Telling
Pull
you.
that billfold out, because
Get cut off quick.
you don't know what my wallet looking like. So if you ask me out,
You
be
paying.
ready to pay for it.
I know it's tradition for the guy to slide the check to the mail, right?
I've got something to add.
But that's if I ask her out.
No, I'm saying if she asked you out, but
Right.
typically if you go out, they're gonna slide the check to you.
Yeah.
You don't get no crab arms. I need you to put extension on that and grab it. Don't have no dinosaur arms, no alligator arms, what they
Right.
call it.
Right, alligator.
So-
Yeah, go ahead, baby.
I had an experience. This was probably about a week ago. I went out on a date. I told
Oh,
about
you
this.
told me about this.
See, that's why he has me on here. This is why he has, because I have a lot of like just little random stories.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that bottle too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because the more I drink, the more interesting the stories.
Yeah, keep drinking. Go ahead, Fran. Speak.
All right, so I went out on a date, and so the guy, I met him on either Bumble or Tinder. Mm-hmm. We connected, we talked, we took it off Bumble, and we started texting each other. And my whole thing was like, I would like to meet you in person whenever you're free or available. That would be cool. So there were some red flags for me going into the situation.
Right.
Like, he was from Charlotte, North Carolina. He had just moved here. He was staying with a friend. He was a contract worker.
How old was he first?
I don't even know.
And he's staying with a
He's
friend.
probably like in his 30s or so. I don't think he was quite in his 40s.
Okay.
But he was staying with his friend. So that meant he didn't have, like a regular job. He was a painter, contracting.
Got you.
Okay.
Which is okay. Whatever pays your bills. I'm not here to tell you how to pay your bills.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got to the date, everything was cool. I asked him, to make the plan. So you can pick wherever you want. I told him we can go to Starbucks. I don't care. It was our first meeting. So I don't want the pressure of feeling like you have to pay for an expensive meal or something extravagant, when we first meet. It literally can be a little small bistro where we can talk and get to know each other. He picked a place over off of Edgewood, which, it's fun. It's like a little bar. I can't remember the name of it. We get there. We didn't even order drinks. Like the drinks that we had, they literally had like a jug of sangria on the bar. So
I got you.
Sangria is like hella cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's just wine and
That's
And
right.
some fruits and
Some fruit.
Yeah.
bullshit
That's all
mixed
it
in.
is.
Yeah. And they gave us goldfish. I need to post this picture, child.
What?
In the sangria.
And they had it like, they served it like at the bar.
Right.
The place next door actually served food. So at some point I was like, well, do you want to get some food? Because I hadn't eaten. And I was like, I'm cool with fries because I'm, vegan now. So I don't really want a lot, to eat out. Long story short, we decided to go to the place next door. He pulls out his card. He gives it to the bartender.
You didn't tell me that part, man.
I look over his shoulder. And I see declined.
Oh, my goodness.
Stop it. Over a jug of sangria?
Oh, hell
No.
2 glasses of sangria and some free goldfish.
Oh, my goodness.
Your brother had tried He trying.
He trying like.
And this man declined.
So the bartender is putting it in manually. He's doing it 2 or 3 times.
Got you. Oh.
To make sure it's not an error on his part.
Oh
And I'm
my
like,
God.
Jesus, tell me this ain't real.
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
The dating scene.
Yeah, so that's part of what you have to go through the dating scene. But again, if
His
you don't have a
intentions-
job, don't go on
Don't
dates.
go on dates. Don't go on dates.
You can go on cheap date. But that's
That was a hella.
cheap.
I
You
mean,
can't
come
eat
on
for a
now. That was like
goldfish and
$20,
a cup of sangria.
That was like $20. It cost you $20 to drive down there.
Yo,
with
the-
gas.
I paid for my own parking,
Oh.
which was $5.
Got
I've gone on other dates where the guy has at least paid for my parking.
Sure.
I ain't never did that. That's a new
That's
one.
a
It was a
good
white guy though, so maybe it's a little.
okay.
I don't know. Yeah, but he was sweet.
Oh, hell no. I'm just saying. Go ahead, babe. You good.
And he was sweet. He was nice. So he paid for my because that's the first time that's ever happened to me. So
Okay.
yeah.
Now, let's talk about that. What's the difference that you notice from dating a white guy and a black guy?
So over the past, I would say, what is this? 2 or 3 months, I've gone out on 2 dates with 2 white guys. I won't say like there's a big difference or gap in what one person does versus another person, because I'm so pro black men. Like, I love black men.
I was going to say, because you went in like a week ago, like all day you was showing your black love.
I'm
and
never
just loving black
going
men.
to put down a black man in a public space or say that one date is better than the other based on race. So I'll base it on person.
Right.
So the first white guy I went out with, it was cool. You know, nothing really progressed from that. It was just like a regular date. We met at Denny's, you know, of all places. And had
Denny's?
breakfast.
Where is Denny's? Is there still Denny's?
In Locust Grove, yeah.
Oh man, there's one on North End Boulevard.
Yeah.
What?
Got the protein.
But he was going to his daughter's
pretty good
softball game or something, volleyball, some sport she's in.
Okay.
So he was on his way to South Georgia, and 75 was on the route, and I live close to Locust Grove. So
Okay.
the second one was the one where the guy paid for the parking. And so that was cool. So that's the first date that I've ever been on where we actually, I guess, had parking involved, and he paid for it. So I can't say that that's a black or white thing.
It's just a nice guy.
It's just a nice guy. Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
No.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying, so really you're just saying it's not really a difference. You just kind of deal off individual.
Right.
Okay.
I don't think so. And I think that's how, you know, going back to the dating thing, I think that's how we have to operate, because I've been reading and seeing where women are comparing, and men too, black and white and this and that. And so it personally, I'm aggravated by it. I don't like it, because if that's your preference, that's cool. And you have people like, oh God, what's his name from ATL?
T.I.
Not
No.
T.I.
Oh,
God.
the slim guy? What's his name?
God, it's coming to my mind. It's escaping my mind at the same time. So there was like a whole big debate.
Lakeith or something? What's his name?
Glover.
Yeah.
The Glover.
David is,
Talking about
Donald Glover?
Donald Glover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino.
Yeah,
Donald
Childish
Glover.
Gambino,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And so like
shout out to Stone Mountain.
Oh, yeah, Stone Mountain.
So I remember like seeing in the blogs and reading where people, when they found out that his wife is white, and, you know, having comments about that and things to say about that, and you know, him saying how as he was coming up, she's the only person that supported him. And the same thing with Power, with what's the character, a Ghost?
I don't look at Power.
Yeah,
I got you.
The main character there.
Yeah.
And so if that is your preference, or if that's the person that supported you, I get it. But in the same context, don't say that black women aren't supportive, or that they don't do this or they don't do that, or downgrade our specific race to make another race look good.
Right.
That's the problem that I have with it.
Okay.
So I'm willing to date outside of my race, but I'm not going to ever say anything negative about black men, because that's truly like where my heart is.
Right.
You saw my post, I was like,
Yeah, you was going in that day. It was like 8 posts that you was. I was like, what is she going through over there?
because
like,
somebody, and it's a white male friend that I have, texted me, and he was like, you know, you like vanilla too. And I'm like, hold the fuck on.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I am the seed of a black man. I have bore seed from a black man. And the children that I bore will probably bear seed from a black man. So I'm never, ever, ever going to be dismissive of that fact, or feel like I need to downgrade or degrade black men because of that, because of dating, because maybe a situation didn't work out for me personally with a black man. That's not going to be my storyline.
Right.
And I'm very, like, you know, I'm hypersensitive about that. Like, I love some black men.
You know, some women are, you know, will be the fault for somebody else's game. You know, they all the same.
Yeah.
You know, that's sad.
Yeah.
Then you really limit yourself then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on both sides, and the one thing that I found, which was similar to what you were saying, what Donald Glover said, the black guy, I remember when Luke Cage was on Netflix.
Yeah.
And the bald head guy, and you know, all the women, oh, he's so fine and this and that, overnight sensation. They found out he's married to a white woman. So
Coulter is his last name. I can't think of his first name.
yeah, he on some show on CBS now, some detective show. Right. But they found out he had a white woman, so he went on Breakfast Club and they asked him about it. He said, look, I love my black women. He said, I love my sisters. He said, I love them to death. But he said, this one here, this lady that I married, she said, he was like, when I ain't have food in college, she had my back. When I ain't have nothing going for me, she had my back. And I was like, how can you turn against that?
Right.
Yeah.
We need the 18th here for this subject.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
You know how pro-black he is. He's black women and nothing else.
He been calling for
Right.
the past 10 minutes.
We probably-
I'm not picking that phone up,
We-
dude.
Be here.
Yeah, he said we probably would be fussing back and forth, but he probably would just say, look, y'all got y'all's, y'all do what y'all do,
Right.
but you know what mine at. But I get it. I understand it. Then I also explain that a lot of times when these people, when you're raised in a certain demographic, if you're that one, your family was affluent and they moved to a white neighborhood and you're only a black kid, most of the time you're going to be attracted to what you see all the time.
Right.
White, yeah.
You know, so I can't fault that. But like you were saying, to piggyback everything you said, was don't talk bad about your own.
Yeah.
And we tend to do that a lot. And I remember I dated an Asian girl, and every time we went out, black women would look at me like I killed their firstborn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like they would. Now, if I'm by myself, they don't pay me no attention. But every time we went out, the stares I would get,
a lot of heat.
it was so bad that she would see it, and the next time she was like, "Sean, we ain't gotta go nowhere. Let's just
Now
stay
that
in."
made her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think she was
After a
used
while.
to it because she was used to dating
Okay.
black guys, but she saw how it was affecting me,
Gotcha.
and she was like, "You know what? We ain't gotta go nowhere. We can
Wow.
just chill out."
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "That's terrible." You know what I'm saying? Because and at the time that I was dating her, I was trying to date multiple people, but she was the only one at that time. If she said she was gonna come at this time, she came.
That's another
But I
part of it.
had other women that I would talk to. Oh yeah, we gonna meet up on this day at this time.
Right.
The day of, I don't hear nothing from them. I get stood up. You know what I'm saying? That happened 2-3 times a week. But then when she came through and she was like, "Yeah, I'll be there at this time," like clockwork.
Yep.
So which one you think I'm gonna go with?
That's right.
Come on now.
Right. That's
One
kind of like
call,
my current
that's all.
situation. Yeah, the
Yeah.
guy that I'm seeing now on a regular basis, he's the one that I don't have to second guess our plans. I don't have to say on the day of, are we still going? Are we still going? You know, like so kind of like in the context of what you're saying. That's you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. While we talking about agents, I want to talk about something else.
Good segue.
Oh man, that boy,
I'm good. You know?
he blended that pretty well.
That boy good. That boy good. But talking about agents though, for real, I went out of town. That's why I wasn't here. Y'all missed me, whatever. I went down to Jamaica, and on the way out,
Okay.
at the airport here in Atlanta, we have a memorial or a whole lot of articles for MLK. One of his suits and a lot of his work is up there. And I think we walk past that stuff as Black Americans. We walk past that stuff all the time and don't pay it no attention. Me being from Atlanta, they took us to all the museums and stuff as kids. So we always, you know, it's normal for us. But I never see Black people going up to read that. And as I was going, the Asians was there taking pictures, reading it, all of this stuff. And I noticed everywhere I go, Asians are really soaking in whatever culture they're going to visit.
Yeah.
You know, you go to Japan and you see them breakdancing better than a lot of people here. They rapping, they DJs on point.
Music.
You know what I'm saying? The music,
Yeah.
you know, they shoe games is up.
Let me stop you right there. I went to a soul food restaurant.
Don't tell me it was an Asian.
What? Proceed.
Where?
They in there.
What?
They in there.
Getting
I
it.
ain't lying. And look, I could be bullshit. Make the best damn fried chicken I ever had. What? Rings? Everything. Like Thanksgiving.
What?
I was like,
What?
Asians.
yeah. Doing lunch special and everything. Place packed. I was like, it's a hostile takeover, bro.
I wouldn't call it hostile. They learn, they
They
appreciate
replicate.
it, and
They're
they
very good
replicate
at
it.
it.
They replicate
And
it,
good
that's
at
right.
And I
Very
can
good at it.
appreciate that. And you know what? I think a lot of times because, you know, it's always a struggle. We the minority and this and that.
Yeah.
They don't get brought up that much.
Yeah.
You know, I think they get a little bit more because they they're more family oriented than we are.
Yeah.
Like they'll go and open up a restaurant and the whole family is working in the restaurant. Then you'll see a black person. If it's in a black neighborhood, you'll see 1 or 2 black people start working there. Because they still want to connect with the people in the community. But they'll start with their family. And they be 10 deep in the house.
Let the dollar circulate.
Yeah. 10 deep. We don't do that.
10 deep and nobody's worried about what the next person is making.
That's right.
Because a lot of times nobody's making anything.
Right.
They're all contributing to the
to the
pot.
business. Yeah.
Right.
And so whatever the business makes, they may share it as far as living expenses, as far as food, as far as overhead. But they're not worried about, oh, this person made $10 an hour and I'm only making $9 an hour. Like they don't focus on that aspect of it because they know as the business grows, they'll all receive their value or what they're worth somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
Well, that exhibit that you saw in the airport, I mean, I guess we take it for granted too, being in Atlanta.
Right.
You know, we've been hit with the King Memorial. Everything's in our back pocket.
That's
pretty
true.
much here.
We take it for granted.
But for you to observe that, you know, just like, damn, they really soak in our culture and our history.
Yeah.
And we have others that don't even appreciate. It's just something on the wall. You walk past or whatever.
All the time.
Yeah. That's heavy, man.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah. So I think it's important, man. And that's why, you know, a lot of times people, I will say, I'm guilty of this. All these movies that have to do with how we're treated, how much injustice is pushed upon us, and the slavery movies and all of that stuff. And it's tiring.
Yeah.
It is tiring. I get it. But I also believe that the generation now, they don't read to gain knowledge. They read just enough to finish what their teacher told them to do.
Oh,
I remember when I was young, the first book I read that wasn't appointed to me by my teacher was Black Like Me by my I was on punishment. I got in trouble for something. And my dad gave me that book and made me read.
You got in trouble?
Yeah, I got in trouble. I don't know what it was. It probably had something to do with my mouth because I was quiet, but if I opened up, it was like a...
And disclaimer, Sean and I have known each other since, I don't even remember. Like, we grew up in the same neighborhood.
The same neighborhood, yeah. So it was something, but I was on punishment. So punishment for us in the day and back in the day was you can't go outside.
Oh, man.
That was our punishment, and that was the worst thing. Oh my god, that was the worst thing ever. You can't go outside, and your homeboy, can Sean come out? Nope, he on punishment. That was so embarrassing. You in the back looking like,
oh my god.
These kids don't even want to go outside.
They don't want to go outside, but that's what I'm saying. He made me read that book while I was on punishment, and I took so much from that book. It made me want to read outside of just what I was given at school. Right. And I don't think these kids now do that because everything is so quick, microwave, video, music, you know, and I'm in the house all the time. So, you know, I don't really take time to learn about myself or stories about people, about ourselves and our heritage. So when you look at it in that sense, to see other races that take interest in us more so than we do, where did we fail to give that hunger to want to know about ourselves or to even look at all of the things that we have done for this country alone that we wasn't even supposed to be here, you know what I'm saying? And how we always persevere regardless. Right. And we just don't take the time to read and learn about it ourselves. But here you got Asians that soak it up. They can tell you more about, you know, a lot of stuff about us. And I think our youth, they just don't take the time to read for knowledge.
Like you said, it's more family oriented in that culture, in the Asian culture. And I'm sure the teaching methods are differently too. Yeah. It's all about teaching methods too.
Discipline.
You know, discipline.
Very disciplined.
And just having that.
And you think about anywhere you go, because I remember going to like DC or New York and traveling, and you see like almost tour buses full of Asians, and they're taking pictures and they're reading and they want to know and they want to go to every museum, they want to go to every site to
absorb that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so I pay attention to that stuff. Again,
Sure.
I'm that guy. I sit in the corner. I won't say a word, but then I'll be like, "You ain't noticed that? Nah, what you talking about?
Right.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh dang, how you catch that? Oh, because I'm not in my phone.
Oh man. Right.
I'm not in my phone. I'm looking at the surroundings. I'm checking out what's going on.
Yeah.
You know. So that's just me. I'm also a monk fanatic. I look at a lot of Monk as an old detective. He was a little crazy, but he paid attention to detail. So a lot of that stuff,
I learn something new every day about this dude.
so that's why I try to be in the cut, but I'm watching everything that's going on, and when I bring it out to people, they be like, "Man, how you even know that?" You know.
How did you pick up on that detail?
Yeah. So I'm a student of human behavior.
Sure.
Like the people I work around, I see what kind of person you are based off of your methods and how you move, and you know. A lot of our things are systematic, you know, repetitive situations. So I pay attention to that, and I see how people move, and I for some reason I can always keep it in my mind. So when I see little stuff, I say, "Oh, what's his name did that?"
I got that right. You could pinpoint it.
Yeah,
You could pinpoint
yeah,
it.
and then I call them out on it. They be like, "Nah, I ain't there." I say, "Yeah, you did." And I break it down. Man, God dang, man, why you always messing with me?
Hey, your work ethic is horrible. That's your character.
Yeah,
man.
that's your character. Yeah, this look like such and such did that. So, yeah, man, it is what it is.
I tell you, if his name is attached to anything, that shit got to be on point. You know what I mean? That's where I roll with this dude.
Oh man, appreciate that, man.
That's
I love
a
you
good
to
thing.
death.
That's a
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Oh, yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
have a good circle of friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got a great circle of friends.
Compliment
Yeah.
each other. Love y'all brothers.
Oh yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And you too, Miss Fran.
Yes, family. Yes.
Y'all are gonna let me into the circle?
Yes. Why not? Why not?
Y'all like, why we let this heifer in?
Mi casa, su casa.
Me, sorry, I said Suka.
She is crazy.
Yeah. No. Crazy is good sometimes.
Crazy is fun.
It's
crazy,
fun.
not like I'm gonna kill you. Crazy. Like,
I'm sitting outside. What car is this out here in your driveway? Crazy.
Oh man.
I don't have time for
You
that.
ain't that crazy?
I'm at the house chilling, probably asleep.
You know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy? What's really crazy is these women that give brothers ultimatums. That's crazy. I mean, guys do it too.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
think
we on
it's more
camera. We
women?
on live.
Oh yeah.
What up, world? You heard it. Women giving guys ultimatums and vice versa.
Right.
That's crazy.
And then they show up at the house in the middle of the night.
Man, look.
Why is this car in the driveway?
Or
I thought I told you.
they go on and slash the tires or
Man, look.
paint a little message on your car.
Well, that's what happens when you eat them from the back. They
Can't
get
eat
a
'em
little
from the back.
crazy.
Which is
Can't eat
wonderful.
everybody from the back.
Sound like you got a little experience in that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you got to get in that ain't.
That ain't the
What
coochie
is
and it
that?
ain't the butthole. Right in between there. That little skin place.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the rice and beans for the day.
Oh goodness!
No, you laughing because you can relate.
You see her fanning over there. She
Church
hot.
girls can't relate. They freaks.
You see
remember?
she hot over there.
Yeah, and everybody listen to this podcast
I
can't
had that
relate.
last week. I was like, ooh,
Hey, let me ask you: did you use syrup or jelly?
his tongue, which is most important.
Oh my goodness!
How you want your salad toss? Oh my goodness! These just jokes, man.
Oh
You know?
man!
I'm just,
Maybe.
What?
Okay.
Oh dang! Hold on, bro.
Hey, look,
How much
I-
time left on the podcast?
We got
We
all
dating,
day.
right? We dating,
got
so
all
we-
day.
Oh, we
Getting
dating.
all
all
these.
day.
That's right. That's part of the interview process.
We all up in this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Tongue game, like, sir.
Oh,
I
man.
need you to
Can
go
I
and
sit
test
on
this
that
out.
beard,
Well,
sir?
I need to sign up
Oh.
at, okay?
18. She say beard. She wants to sit on a beard.
Listen, I just touched your beard today. I'm like, when we hanging out?
Oh wow.
While I'm dropping off your juice.
Oh,
my
goodness.
God.
Hit me, baby. Because I got to hit that.
Wow. What we talking about, son?
I don't know.
That wasn't that conservative friend that came through the front door this morning.
I thought we were talking about something.
Yeah, we were talking about ultimatum.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, let's go back to
Oh, that's what we. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Sorry, he said hit
We
it from,
talking about jelly
he
and
talking
syrup.
about
You know
hitting it from the
that?
back. They just threw me totally off. I just really
Put the camera on her.
I can't concentrate now. Like
Lie.
I didn't change the whole damn subject.
I hit a nerve.
The whole freak thing came out. Like,
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
ain't nothing wrong
I knew
with
you had
that.
it in you when
Ain't
you went to
nothing
church.
Ain't nothing wrong.
the whole freak. You send me into like a flashback.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, ooh, that shit was amazing. I gotta set that up
You
again.
ain't
Like,
lying. Your dreads grew a little longer.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, man,
Oh,
you
my
hear
goodness.
women, you better marry me or else I'm going to do this. I'm the best you ever had and shit like that. I mean, man, it's out there. I mean, I'm sure brothers out there can relate. You know,
Yeah.
they've had women tell them, hey, marry me or else.
I think
Ooh.
if you get to that point,
What a topic.
it's not real if you get to that point. I think,
Oh, we
and I
go
don't
together.
understand.
Go ahead, I'm
I don't
listening.
understand why you would want to be in a relationship where you have to force somebody to do something.
Right.
Now, I get when you say, "Okay, look here, bruh," or "Look here, homegirl. We at this point. If you ain't trying to do nothing by then, I got to do other stuff."
right.
You know, I'm gonna give you a heads up.
That's
Not
a real
saying an
conversation.
ultimatum. Yeah, not an ultimatum like, well, you need to do this or I'm gone. No, it's more so like, look, I'm right here with it. We've been doing this for this long. I got to find something else.
Right.
So you let me know how you feel about that.
Right.
You
And
know,
either, like you said before, either they're going to step out or they're going to phase themselves out. So,
right.
and that either one is okay. You have to be okay in dating with either of those scenarios.
Yeah.
That comes into like the ultimatum play. Like when you lay that out there, you have to be okay with that person may say no. They may push back.
But if they don't push back and just, okay it and allow it to happen, I mean, you
don't even
burying
know.
yourself.
Right.
But I
How do
would
you feel? Right. How do you
good
feel?
about
Because
that.
I pushed you into this. You didn't do it because you wanted to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I pushed you. And I don't want that. I want something. I need to.
Oh, it's always something.
Look, I
I'm
just
telling
had
you.
this conversation.
That's a can
And
of
since we
worms,
being
man.
real,
Please.
you know, if you don't give head and I got
What?
to ask you to give head, it ain't real. It's not real.
That's
I
right.
want you to do it because you like
enjoy
to do
it.
it. You enjoy
yeah,
it.
it's
So
part
on
of the experience.
Exactly. On that same level, if we're in a relationship or we getting ready to try to get married or whatever, I don't want to feel like I have to really.
Is this mic on?
all the way up.
Let me turn to my.
Mic on.
I'm going to switch my camera video. Okay, go ahead.
Is this mic on? Testing 1 2. I'm just. Don't be that brother you talking about. Excuse me. Could you do that thing you did? Oh hell no, that shit ain't happening.
Oh, my
Let me
goodness.
tell you. Oh hell no! There we go, man. I'm just saying.
Pastor Frank Mabry Sr. is watching.
Oh wow. Well, what's up, Mr. Frank?
How you doing?
What's going on, Mr. Frank?
How you
Good
doing?
to see you.
How you doing?
All right.
Hey, the Lord he knows my heart.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Father. You may want to turn out.
Oh,
of this.
goodness, man.
Yeah.
What kind of fun is we having up in here today?
Ooh, Jesus.
All kind of fun. But hey, people, it's about that time.
Man, that sucks.
That was
It's,
fast.
doesn't it feel
When
fast?
you're having fun
I had a lot of fun.
in the soundproof hunger room, baby.
Yes, indeed. All up
Oh my
in this piece.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Y'all coming
That
out.
was beautiful.
Nice, friend. You're always welcome.
Yeah, friend.
Peace to the Spider-Man. Good to have you back in
Oh
the building,
man, I'm
baby.
back. Oh, it feel good. I missed y'all.
Oh, man.
I
Missed you
missed
too,
y'all.
He
man.
was in Jamaica.
Hey, you ain't got to put my business out
we
there
got
like
rich
that.
friends.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to put
got
my
rich
business out
They don't know
there.
where you were in Jamaica. They saw you living your best life.
Yeah, they just saw me damn my little two-step. They saw that little two-step going on.
Brother still got sand between his toes. I ain't
They
mad
got a
at
little
you.
tan and
Little
everything.
thing. Well, I'm always chocolate, though. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking
We
about?
like chocolate.
Oh, you know.
Yo, appreciate y'all
Melts in
tuning
your
in.
mouth, not in your hand. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
We gonna
don't
cut
be
this
sorry.
off because we gotta finish another freak segment. Hey, good to see y'all, man.
Hey, man, we
Pleasure.
appreciate it.
Peace and blessings, man. Hey, in life, hey, do what's right, not what's easy.
Ah,
You got
heavy.
me?
Heavy. I
That was
love
just
it.
on me, man. Always do what's right, not what's easy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you
That's what's up.
tuning in. See y'all next week, man. We out.